Are you guys ready? Hello.
Hello.
How's it going? How's life?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Nice and excited to be talking about the Korea tonight. Hi. We're gonna bring some interesting points here. We're gonna get philosophical. We're gonna get musical. Just like trying to explore the different possibilities of the choreo and of the performance we did. Right?
Hi, Maureen.
Hey, Maureen. So cool. Yeah. So this was made in November, right? We recorded in November 2020. I'll just posted it in March, at the end of March. But yeah, it was recorded in the fall 2020. So yeah, it's been a while. The video was waiting for us to get released. We also had some inconveniences there with the with the clips. At some point we lost them, but then we recovered them. Yeah, it was kind of
that was so scary.
It was scary. Yeah, it was scary for sure. But yeah, it's done. It's already posted, and yeah, let's analyze it. I don't know if you have any questions to start with, or you want me to start with
I just want to start with like, how did you pick this piece? You know, because it's a song, but like, what inspired you about it?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a tricky one. So like I usually choose my choreos based on songs, right? I usually choreograph based on what I'm feeling like. Oh, before that, I always forget about this. I'm gonna translate into Spanish because some people are not comfortable with English, so I'm gonna be bilingual in this live, just as the previous one with Amy. So yeah, each time we finish a question, we're gonna get into a Spanish translation, so just be patient. Okay, so back to your question. Ella está preguntando ahorita qué es lo que me inspiró a producir este video y a escoger este tema. So basically, in my family, my grandparents used to listen a lot to boleros, which is the rhythm of Sabor, right? So it's something that was always there. Like even my parents used to listen to them a lot, and it was really sort of a instant connection with the piece. I always loved this song. It was part of me since I was a child. But I don't know, for some reason last year I started listening to boleros a lot. I was super into boleros. I was super connected to this genre, especially during lockdown, during the quarantine, and it was really like I really felt I needed to listen to boleros. I don't know why, because maybe they're so dramatic and so passionate, but it really connected with the moment, right? With this whole situation we were living. So I was listening to them, and suddenly in YouTube, you know, there are like suggestions. I found a Landó version of Sabor by Susana Vaca, right? So I was listening to boleros like normally, and then intuition, I found a version of Sabor by Susana Vaca, which is a renowned Peruvian singer, Afro-Peruvian singer. She's super known here, super well known, and she sings Landó. Landó is an Afro-Peruvian rhythm, which is very earthy, very grounded. And I just fell in love with the piece. I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. This is so perfect. I need to create this. Okay. So then the idea came, and then more ideas came, and then this whole project started building up. I called you and I was like, no, this should be done. This should be like portrayed or materialized in some way, right? So that's basically the background of it. Yeah.
I remember the first time that you made me listen to the song, and your version, which is like starting with a bolero and then afterwards into the Landó, like this transition. I remember as soon as it hit that transition, like I just like fell back, you know, because there's something about that version that like really moves and touches in a different way than the other one. Yeah.
That's true. I'm going to translate. Okay, so en español, Mella me preguntó qué es lo que me inspiró a hacer esta coreografía. Yo le digo, estaba en la cuarentena escuchando boleros y en YouTube me sale una recomendación de Sabor a mí, pero en Landó, por Susana Vaca. Y yo digo, wow, esto es loquísimo, ¿no? Entonces lo escucho y me enamoro del tema y digo, no, esto tiene que ser fusionado y presentado de alguna manera, ¿no? Tiene que haber algo aquí. Y primera vez que lo escuchaba, nunca más. Y eso que yo escucho bastante a Susana Vaca, nunca había escuchado esa versión. Pero fue algo así muy de pronto y eso fue lo que me motivó, ¿no? Le digo que también en mi casa siempre escuchaban boleros, bueno, no siempre, pero de vez en cuando, porque mis abuelos eran muy fanáticos de los boleros. Así que comenzó todo desde ahí y ella me dice, esta versión de verdad tiene algo especial, la versión de Landó, ¿no? Como que te transporta a otro lado. La versión de bolero es bonita, pero el Landó como que te lleva a otras dimensiones que son únicas y son verdaderamente te mueven, ¿no? Okay, so talking about the Landau version, I was thinking asking you about rhythms at the end, but now I'm feeling like asking you right now, how do you like feel like in general terms, or how did you connect with Landau as an Afro-Peruvian rhythm, right? Because I know it's pretty unique for you. You're not familiarized, or you were not familiarized with Landau before. It's a very traditional rhythm from Peru. So I don't know how was your experience connecting to that particular genre.
In terms of the rhythm itself, that was something that was in a way pretty easy to internalize in my body.
Right.
But then afterwards, like it's the movement itself of like the Landó dance that was very much a challenge for me. It's not that the movements are like extravagant and like extremely challenging in some ways, but there's a certain sharpness yet like roundness to it that I can't really explain. Yeah, and that was really hard to embody. Like I would look at you and I'm like, I get what you're doing, and then I'd like try to translate in my body, and it was a lot of work.
I know the whole like body, like there's a whole body language that is very special to Landó. I think it's the whole technique is very different from other Latin rhythms, if you will, right? It's a very special technique. And I'm glad you didn't have problems with the rhythm, because by the way, she's minoring in music, so like she also knows like musical things, right? So like that was not a challenge for you, but for many people is a challenge, because like the rhythm is also very intricate. It's 8, right? It goes boom, bah, boom, boom, bah, bah. So there are lots of syncopations in the rhythms, right? It's very intricate, but yeah, it's not only the rhythm that is intricate, but also the move. The move it's very grounded, but it's especially grounded. I don't know how would you describe the movement in your own words.
Yeah, compared, I'm just, it's all relative, right? So I'm just compared to the first part, which is a more vertical kind of movement, and this one was much more grounded.
Totally.
But, in like larger in a sense, like
larger, right? It's larger. Yeah, you want to like expand the.
Yeah, I remember you saying like near the very end, like right before we were recording, you were like, no, bigger, larger, and I was like, oh, this is a very much different kind of feel than what I've been used to. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's not contracted, it's very expansive, I would say. It's very like you know, like you want to like show your whole, like a bird. Like a
very
bird,
much.
right? Like a bird. Okay, en español, estábamos diciendo cómo para ella el Landó fue un reto aprenderlo. No tanto por la música, porque ella estudiaba música también, pero más por los movimientos de la técnica del baile, cómo se estructura el movimiento y cómo transmites a través del movimiento, ¿no? El Landó estábamos diciendo que es muy expansivo, ¿no? El movimiento es muy expansivo, muy abierto, muy como un pájaro, como una ave, ¿no? Y entonces eso es lo que cuesta un poco coger, digamos, la esencia del baile, pero una vez que la tienes ya te fluye naturalmente. How was the, or how long did it take for you to like actually internalize the rhythm and internalize the the whole like essence and spirit of the dance?
I think that was like a process that started from the moment you showed me the piece until the very end. I can still feel there's a lot more that I can do to like really embody the essence and the rhythms of Landó. But yeah, I remember there were many different ways in which I tried to really get it in my body, and one of those was just listening to you nonstop, going like that, boom, boom, that.
That helps a lot. Yeah,
yeah,
that helps a lot. For sure. I think one of the ways, like I've learned that, I've learned it that way, you know, like in Peru, like we usually just like scat the rhythm, and we just like try to feel the percussion in the body, right? Because it's very percussive. So you want to like convey that percussion through your movements. And I think that's the best way to learn it, you know, like because if I was gonna go to technical and be like, okay, like this is like, I don't know, like 90 degrees like this and then 90 degrees like that, then it will be like you lose a little bit of the essence of the art form, and it becomes kind of rigid, right? And the whole point of the art form is to be like super liberating and like flexible, and you know, it's very free, it's very like loose.
Yes.
Yeah. En español me estaba diciendo que le ayudó mucho que yo pueda cantar, digamos, el ritmo, ¿no? Como un poquito tararearlo, en lugar de contar o de decir, mira, estos son 90 ángulos, o esto es así, o esto es así, como dejar un poco el lenguaje más técnico, más racional, digamos, para conectar a un nivel un poco más, no sé, emocional o sensorial, digámoslo así, ¿no? Sensorial. I just got an idea here while I was talking in Spanish. I would say the way we learned was pretty sensorial, was pretty like sense connected, like connected to our senses more than to our logical mind in this case, right? I don't know if you felt the same way, but I really felt like in general, right? When you learn like Landó or this types of rhythms, you actually connect with this let's say non-rational part of you, but that's still there, that guides you, and you can actually feel that connection, right? I don't know how to explain it, but like I think you're getting me right now.
Yeah, I think I understand. Like there could have been a lot more like logical ways, I guess, to learn the rhythm. Like you could have shown me a sheet music, and then I would have like tried to tap it out, read it, write it in some kind of way so that I internalize it that way. Oh, I'm reading.
Right.
I felt the sensing when I watched you too. I love that.
Yeah, that's
Marina's
true,
saying
Maureen.
how like learning it that way also make it translate in the same
in the performance.
Yeah.
That's totally true. Yeah. I feel that it's pretty great to like be able to like communicate at that level, you know, because we usually communicate through, as I said, through more rational maybe standards, but like in this case it was more like on a ground level. We connected more to our senses, and that is felt also in the performance, right? Like you cannot like maybe analyze like the choreo, like precise movements and precise techniques, right? It's more organic, right? It looks more organic. It looks more natural, just like what flowed in the moment, what flowed in the process. En español estábamos diciendo como la manera de conectar y de aprender esta coreografía fue bastante de conexión con los sentidos, ¿no? De conectarnos bastante con esta parte de nosotros que a veces la olvidamos, que es nuestra parte sensorial más que nuestra parte mental. y cómo eso nos ayudó bastante a, digamos, profundizar en el aprendizaje de la coreografía, pero también en el proceso de llevar ese sentimiento o al video, ¿no? Y proyectarlo ahí y que se vea algo súper orgánico en lugar de que solamente se vea, digamos, un mecánico, right? I think the word here it's organic versus mechanic, right? I think that's the main, like, let's say, disjunctive here or dilemma. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Also, I think the fact that the storyline is very passionate. Like the whole story that's conveyed through the song. It also helps to connect with the senses, because the song itself is talking about the senses, right? It's talking about flavor. Sabor a mí means flavor of me in English, and I think that also was a key ingredient in the process. I don't know, what are your thoughts on that?
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Like, in doing this piece, like, what was the main message or theme that you wanted to convey?
It was like, the song is very romantic, right? So as I told you in the rehearsals, and now we can share it with everyone. Like the key piece in the choreo is the romantic story, but that is also dramatic at the same time, melancholic, right? So it's true, it's very passionate, but at the same time, I think it was very like dramatic, because it's a tale of two lovers that were once together, but now they're separate, and they're like telling each other how much they miss each other and how much they remember each other. And I think it was a mix of sensations that I wanted to convey through the art form, through the performance. I don't know if you felt it the same way, but at least that was my initial intention with the choreo.
Yes, it was very romantic, dramatic, as you said, but also very wistful in a way, because it, like, delving back into the past, and it had that kind of nostalgic feel about it, you know?
Yeah, it's totally true. It's totally true. I feel nostalgic is a very good term to describe the mix of sensations that were conveyed. Okay. En español, estamos diciendo cómo la intención detrás de la coreografía fue transmitir este mix de sentimientos, ¿no? Este mix de emociones, esta combinación de pasión, romanticismo, amor, con nostalgia, melancolía, dramatismo, ¿no? Como que tratar de combinar ambas cosas y que salga un producto así medio híbrido, medio lleno de emociones encontradas, ¿no? Lleno de emociones encontradas que al final del día te conectas y te llama y connects with different aspects of emotions, different like strands of how we feel sometimes. It's not just limited to like, oh yeah, it's a happy choreo, just smile all the time and let's dance and have fun, right? Which is great too. I've done many happy choreos, but I think this type of choreo is also really great because it like shows the whole the whole like range of possibilities in emotions and in feelings and in sentiments, right?
I found it very nuanced. Yeah, I found that in a lot of different parts, you wanted to convey very specific, very nuanced feelings, and that made it really impactful, and it made it have a lot more depth, I think.
That's true. Yeah, like especially at the beginning, like the intro was so nuanced. I remember how we talked about like, okay, we turn and then we suddenly smile and connect, and then we like,
yeah, and I love it so much. You look at it. Oh, sorry, my chair is creaking.
That's okay.
And I remember like my parents, when they first saw it, they were like, wow, there's like so much going on in just like those first introductory 5 seconds, and that's really amazing. And it feels authentic and genuine, yet everything was planned, you know?
It was planned. Yeah. It was planned, but it was organically planned, you know, like, again, it was not like, okay, you count 5 and then we stop smiling. No, it was like, we're gonna smile here. Like, it's planned in the sense that we're gonna perform the action, but the action itself was very organic. It was like, okay, you smile, but like you smile, you feel.
I remember the day where we figured out like those 5 seconds. At first, to have it very intense, very serious, right? And then we just couldn't.
Right. So funny. That's also true. That's very true. It was part of the process, right?
Yeah, it did come organically. We couldn't stay serious for that long coming together. It didn't feel right for those two characters.
That's true. Like for everyone. So we were rehearsing, and like at the beginning we were like, okay, we want to be serious and dramatic here, but like the eye contact and the persistent like tension there just made us laugh all the time, and we were like we just couldn't do it. So we were like, okay, we're gonna change it, and we're now gonna smile instead of like being serious. And it really ended up being like a beautiful touch, I would say, to the steps and to the choreo. And that's the beauty of art, right? That's the beauty of choreography, of dance, that like you can have certain plans or certain preconceptions or models to follow, but at the end of the day, when you practice with someone, or when you like interact, when you create together, you find that you can change it and you can like twist it a little bit, so you can like get something even more magical, right? Even more impactful, even more, and just flow with the process. Co-creation, that's the term. Maureen, thanks for that. It's co-creation. So in Spanish, estábamos diciendo como esta co-creación, esta coreografía es un reflejo de lo improvisado y lo planeado a la vez, ¿no? O sea, todos los movimientos fueron planeados en el sentido de que sabíamos que íbamos a hacer el día de la grabación, pero los movimientos surgieron de manera improvisada en gran parte, ¿no? Como la sonrisa, cuando sonreímos al inicio, es algo verdaderamente... fue algo verdaderamente orgánico, porque en el ensayo queríamos hacerlo dramático, pero con la tensión de ambos, mirándonos a los ojos, terminábamos siempre riéndonos. Entonces decíamos, bueno, vamos a reírnos. Y así, fluyeron cosas así espontáneamente, y la verdad es que terminó siendo un producto mágico a partir de esa co-creación, ¿no? Right? So I also think that another magical component to the myths was the scenery, right? The setting, the location, the
lighting,
the whole like lighting, right? What can you tell me about that? I really loved how it ended up being.
Well, I think it was all you. It was like all in your mind, and you really like you took inspiration. You told me from
Land.
And you showed me the video. Like, I really very much love that. There's the lamppost and the Parliament, like old buildings that very much add to the nostalgic feel, and then the sunset and all of that going from bright lights warm tones and nostalgic sense to the second part of the video, which is a lot more blue, a lot more
darker.
City. A little darker, and I love that contrast, because for me it just shows the young lovers as opposed to the separated, the now that the partners are. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's a really great interpretation. Actually, we can interpret it in different ways. This whole like transition from light to darkness. Uh, that was pretty cool actually. It was not planned specifically
No,
either, but like it ended up being super cool.
yeah.
Yeah, like we got several clips and then we just like put them together and we were like, okay, this is cool.
Mm.
um, but yeah, I think we can interpret it in that way. How like we change from being like actually representing the or portraying the flashback, the real flashback, like the past selves, and then turning into the present, present nostalgic, dark, kind of dramatic mood at the end, right? Especially with the rhythm change also helped in like configuring that like transition from super like brightness to darkness and more grounded, a more grounded feeling, I would say.
I really loved my favorite part of the second section is when we're running towards each other, and it's at that moment that you chose to edit it so that it went from a light blue to a darker night.
Yeah. That's true. It was also part of like I also had to choose which clips would make sense in the whole editing process because we also have many clips because of the because of the different clips we did, right? Of the different like rehearsals and different like not rehearsals but like shots. So yeah, the editing process was also like very I was also like very careful of keeping the storyline fixed and like making sense of the whole story in the editing. Yeah.
That
So
transition
I really
gave me very much like the feel that it was the two partners like running and continuing to dance throughout the night. That's what like it gave me as a feel, and I was not expecting that at all. So when I saw it for the first time, I like almost cried. I was like, wow,
like the final video. Yeah,
really
yeah.
cool.
You were trying. Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, it was really cool. Like the whole transitions. That also contributed to the dance for sure. Because maybe if we performed this at a stage, it wouldn't be the same feeling. It wouldn't be the same like or yeah, the same feeling in general. It's a different feeling in on the stage performance. But the fact that the medium here was the video, I think that also contributed to a different approach or a different sensation that we conveyed to the audience, right? So yeah, that was also really cool. I'm gonna translate. So, en español, estábamos diciendo cómo el contraste de la noche y del día y la noche en el video, de verdad contribuyó un poco a la historia, ¿no? Comenzamos digamos, en la tarde, ¿no? Y eso, digamos, que representaba un poco el pasado, ¿no? El flashback de los amantes que se encontraban y que vivían felices. Y luego pasamos un poco más al anochecer, al final del video, con el Landó. El Landó es un poco más al anochecer y eso también contribuyó a que se acentúe más el dramatismo y la nostalgia y la melancolía de todo este performance. Y también dijimos cómo el video hace que la sensación sea diferente, ¿no? El hecho de haber hecho esta pieza en un video hace que sea diferente a lo que normalmente se vería en un escenario, ¿no? Es diferente la sensación que uno transmite al espectador. Right? On the same line, what do you think about the clothing, our outfits? I think that was also like really revealing. Yeah.
I love the choice of the colors. I think you were the one that you really thought about this. You were like, oh, let's do reds and let's do wine to convey that sort of taste, the senses, because it reminded you of like cherries and wine itself.
Cherries. Did I say cherries?
I don't remember. I think I said cherries. You thought of wine. Cherry. And then later,
I thought of wine, yeah.
When I was doing my I was also eating cherries and it was exactly the same color, so that's why I was like, oh, cherries.
Makes sense, yeah. Yeah, I thought of wine for sure because my t-shirt my shirt was wine, was a wine color. So yeah, I was like this is perfect for conveying this like romantic mood, you know, like the whole like romantic scenery, and the colors also help because red and purple were really or are really romantic colors.
Luxurious colors too.
Luxurious, yeah. The wine, like they symbolically convey the wine and the roses, right? If you want to like put a label or an object, if you want to assign an object to each of them, I would say the wine is the wine, and then the other one is red roses, right? So I think at a symbolic level, that also really worked out perfectly, right? It also complemented the whole mood. And these are like details that like maybe people don't notice at the first glance, but they're there, right? Like, and they all contribute to creating a beautiful performance at the end. It's not just the dance in itself. Probably that's the main component, but the whole performances, the whole performance elements also like contribute to a more enhanced experience of the performance. Okay, I'm gonna translate. Dijimos como el color vino, porque yo usaba una camisa de color vino y ella usaba una blusa roja, también contribuyeron al hecho de crear una escenografía más de romanticismo, más romántica, más pasional, más incluso lujosa un poco, ¿no? Y contribuir a toda esta movida de la coreografía que hicimos. Y nada, o sea, dijimos también que estos detalles verdaderamente no se notan en la primera vista, o sea, las personas no piensan en esto al inicio, pero de verdad está bueno pensarlos en oportunidades y en espacios como este para poder, digamos, darle una perspectiva más profunda al baile, a la coreografía, a la creación. Y eso ayuda bastante también a verlo o interpretarlo desde otra manera, ¿no? Desde otro ángulo, desde otro enfoque, más rico de repente, más profundo, más sensible, más humano. So yeah, hi Sarah.
Adding to the outfits and like the thinking about the outfits, like what made you think like, oh, I want, it was about me, what made you want me to have heels in the beginning and then barefoot in the second part? Well, similar to barefoot, and then also the change in pants from something like more slim fitting to more flowy.
Well, in principle, it's because of the nature of the dances, right? Of the like Landó is a dance that we usually dance in Peru barefoot, right? Like it's really grounded, it's really earthy, it's really connected to the ground, to the roots, to Africa, right? So it's barefoot, and Bolero is more of a ballroom dance, right? Not ballroom as competitive ballroom, but like ballroom in the sense of you know, like in a closed space, in a closed formal setting, if you will, right? It's more it has more of a European influence in that regard. So I think I wanted to respect that. Like I wanted to actually align with the different moods in each of the dances, each of their essences. So that's the first reason, right? It was a choice based on the dances themselves. Also, I think the pants that you brought for Landó were really suitable for the dance, because they were like really, I don't know, like they felt really Landó, you know, like
yeah, no,
I don't know.
You showed me photos of like you doing old Landó performances, and I was looking at the pants and like / dresses that the women were wearing, and I was like, I can find something similar.
Like, right? That's so creative. I love that.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah, it's really cool because it was also like the whole pants were like, they had like motifs that were like really like they seem really traditional, and I was like, oh my god, that's so perfect. Yeah, in Spanish. Estábamos diciendo cómo bueno, ella me preguntó por qué esta diferencia entre bolero con tacos y con pantalón y el landó descalzo y con este pantalón así medio que volaba un poco, ¿no? Eh, y bueno, es básicamente para respetar un poco los estándares de cada baile, ¿no? Si bien estamos haciendo una fusión, quería, digamos, tener elementos distintivos de cada baile, ¿no? En el bolero normalmente es un poco más con influencia europea y se baila con tacos y en un lugar más, digamos, formal. El landó es un baile más tradicional peruano, es muy conectado con la tierra, nace, digamos, en los campos, en las plantaciones afroperuanas, y eso hace que tenga este feeling más de tierra, más grounded, más conectado con las raíces. So yeah, that was really cool. I think that
Yeah, I like how like your logic was just like staying true to the genre, but for me, like looking back, I feel like it added a lot more to, since like the first part to me is a flashback versus
right.
partners at the moment. Like it felt like the heels and like that added to the youthfulness, which is like the more mature and grounded that they became afterwards. If that makes any sense.
That's very interesting. That is very
Yeah.
interesting. I love your interpretations because they're unique, right? They're like your own experience. They're your own subjective experience in the creation, right? I love that. It's true. It's also true. Like the first part is more like a youthful like love affair, and
Yeah.
the other one is more like grounded, more like serious, more like um, I would say like matured, yeah, matured and connected to the earth, like more mundane. I think that's the word, mundane. Um, yeah, so that's great too. That's great. Me está diciendo como para ella ese cambio de vestimenta significó también, o lo podíamos interpretar como al inicio, digamos que los tacos son más de una persona joven, adolescente, que bueno, representa más un estilo, un amor más juvenil, y luego la segunda parte ya un poco más madura, más aterrizada, más enraizada, o descalzos, ¿no? Era como más, un poco más de haber ya pisado tierra, haber vivido tanto que ya uno está bien afianzado en la tierra y no necesita nada de estos, accesorios adicionales. Está bueno para pensarlo y está bueno para seguir reflexionándolo eh, más adelante también. That was
Yeah.
really cool. Um,
I have
yeah, yeah, tell me.
talking about like the styles of dances, especially in the first part, like you added like I feel like every 8 bars you decided to switch styles of dances that you wanted
Oh,
to have.
true, true, true.
So like how and I love that about like the first version of the song that you chose. But like how did you pick those styles? Like how did you feel? Why did you pick those styles, and like in terms of like how they conveyed your message or emotion that you wanted to.
Right. Yeah, I think that like my choreos are always sort of a fusion of different styles, you know that. So many people know that. I don't like to stick with one like style. I always like to play with different genres, with different dances, because that helps, build a nice environment, nice like unique, I would say, an authentic creation. So yeah, in bolero is a very old genre from Cuba that it has like also like complemented different current dances like ballroom rumba, for instance. We also did some rumba there, and I think that it was really suitable for different interventions from external styles like rumba, like contemporary dance, because the introduction was really contemporary when we do like the this and then the ta 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 ta, right? That was really contemporary, and then the landau was also very contemporary, right? So I think that especially the contemporary part, the contemporary elements, were like really to implant a fresh vibe, a fresh aura, if you will, a fresh, like feeling to the
Mhm.
creation, right? And
Yeah, I
because
remember Maureen when she looked at our piece, she was like, this is like the portrayal of like this kind of like passionate teenage love, you know?
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're like young people, so like it's always good to like, you know, just like bring some like fresh air to the myths, right? Instead of just sticking to the tradition, to the convention. It's always, at least for me, I enjoy like integrating new like possibilities in the creative process. And I'm gonna translate. Dijimos como el hecho de incorporar diferentes ritmos o estilos de baile, rumba, contemporáneo, tango, Wilson incorporated tango. Fue una decisión de poder jugar un poco más y tratar de crear un bebé único, ¿no? Un bebé creativo único. Y especialmente lo contemporáneo, ¿no? La incorporación de elementos de danza contemporánea, tanto en el bolero, tanto en el landó, fue algo para implantar un toque más fresco, un toque más juvenil, contemporáneo en nuestra coreografía, ¿no? Y finalmente, nada, renovar un poco la tradición, renovar un poco lo convencional y hacer nuestra propia versión de los hechos, nuestra propia versión de esta canción, hacerla nuestra, ¿no? We did we like reappropriated the song, Sabor a mí, and made it ours in the process, right? We just didn't stick with what is supposed to be danced to the song, right?
Yeah.
Which is great, but like we wanted to give a certain touch.
Hi, Mirana.
Hi, Mirana, how's it going? We wanted to give a certain special touch to the mood, to the performance. Yeah, so that was a great deal.
It would be so cool if you could like
questions?
show and explain. Like if he's like, here, we did some cha-cha. If you could show, I don't know.
I know. I was trying that actually, but like it didn't work. I don't know if it's probably me, but like it doesn't work like to like share screen. Or I haven't learned. If anyone here in the chat, just like let me know. Just if you know how to like screen share or something, just let me know because I don't know. Anyway, besides that, I think overall it was a very mystical experience, I would say.
Oh, okay.
Because we really played with a lot of new things and with new like feelings, emotions, senses, rhythms. I really feel that in the rehearsals we really like transported ourselves somewhere else. Like we're not here. We were just like in another plane, trying to figure this out. So yeah, I think that's the power and the magic of dance, the magic of performance, the magic of rhythms and art in general. And especially, yeah, so I think to close this up, I should talk about a little bit of the lyrics. I feel like mentioning some key things here that we also like touched upon. We, like the lyrics say, yo guardo tu sabor, pero tú llevas también sabor a mí, which means I guard your flavor and you also carry flavor of me, or you also carry my flavor. And then it says, bastaría con abrazarte y conversar, which means it's enough. It would be enough to hug you and to converse and to chat. So I'm trying to say that this whole interaction of verbs, of like sensorial verbs, it's really, really, really interesting because like we also portray that in the choreo. I think when it says abrazarte, we also were like, you know, like we did like this step that was like hug each other and then conversar. So I think it was like a whole integration of senses and of different like human experiences that were portrayed in this one piece. And that's why maybe many people have related and have found the choreo very like crush, right? Like near to them, like near to their hearts.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, that's very true. You touched upon many things about how mystical it felt just working on the piece, and I totally relate to that. The entire situation that we're in, just being in lockdown and quarantine and all that stuff, and then afterwards going outside just like once in a while to go out and dance. And it was always during like the late afternoon where like the sun is also setting, so it's like the feeling that we wanted to have as we were going to film was already starting to integrate into us.
Totally.
Which was really, really cool. I forgot what you said afterwards. But what I wanted to add.
About lyrics, abrazarte.
Oh, yes, yes. There are many times in the choreos that I absolutely love that you decided to do a lot of word painting. Like at some points, like, what is it? Like
word painting. I love that. Word painting. Yeah, that's perfect.
You were like hugging me at one point, or I'm pushing you away, and it's like, or we're approaching like right at the beginning, like always following the lyrics, which was really, really fun. Really, really great because it added more layers to your story and how you wanted to convey it.
For sure. I'm going to translate en español. Estamos diciendo como la letra de la canción como que te transmite tantos sentimientos, tantos diferentes emociones y sensaciones, esa es la palabra. Porque mira, dice, tú llevas también sabor a mí, bastaría con abrazarte y conversar, que por fuerza tienes ya, ¿no? Como que te transmite muchas conexiones sensoriales que nosotros también tratamos de transmitir en el video y con la coreografía, ¿no? Por ejemplo, cuando dice, bastaría con abrazarte, en el video nos abrazamos, ¿no? Hacemos como un paso tipo abrazarnos. Y eso es como que ayuda bastante a transmitir lo que la canción misma nos quiere decir, lo que la letra misma nos quiere transmitir, lo que toda esta canción viene a querer hacernos sentir, ¿no? Querer hacernos sentir, querer hacernos experimentar. Y nada, ella me dice también como el hecho de que en los ensayos ya veníamos practicando, digamos, en el atardecer, también eso ayudó un poco a crear un poco la atmósfera ya en el día de la filmación, que también fue en el atardecer, y que simplemente fluyera todo al final. Y que sea de verdad una historia verídica, ¿no? Porque si bien estábamos actuando, al final del día lo que queríamos era transmitir un sentimiento verídico, un sentimiento auténtico. I was saying that even though we were acting in the performance, in the choreo, at the end of the day, we wanted to convey a very authentic, a very like original and organic feeling of a love story of two lovers that reunite and like are talking to each other and like are exchanging these different memories of their relationship.
Yeah, it definitely felt very sincere.
Yeah. Especially because of the word painting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you so much, Mirana. That was
Thank
such a
you
pleasure.
for having me. That was fun.
That was, very interesting ideas, very interesting topics, very interesting points that we can elaborate further, maybe in the future. I'm going to write a whole thesis about those. Maybe, who knows?
Thank you for inviting me, like, in the first place, not for the live only, but also for the dance in general.
For the project.
Yeah.
I think it really injected a whole beautiful vibe. Like the whole process, it was just like really magical. It was really fruitful for both of us. Yeah. So my pleasure. Always. Thank you so much. Okay, people, we're out. See you. This is gonna stay recorded in our profile, in my IGTV.
Fancy, okay.
Me olvidaba en español. Sí, estábamos diciendo cómo el proceso fue muy encantador para ambos, ¿no? Y de verdad ha sido un placer hacer esta coreografía y da para seguir hablando horas y horas y horas de, bye, Sarah, de horas y horas de nuevas interpretaciones, nuevos comentarios, nuevas visiones, perspectivas de lo que puede ser este baile, ¿no? Porque tiene tanto metido ahí que de verdad vale la pena degranarlo así de a poquitos como una mandarina. Así que esto va a quedar grabado en mi perfil, lo pueden visitar, va a estar en IGTV y lo voy a subir a YouTube, lo voy a subir a Facebook, ahí lo pueden ver. Y gracias, nos vemos en una siguiente edición de this program. Whatever. Okay, bye.